Welcome to VSB News Online for Thursday, August 20th. I'm Peter Cattell. Hurricane Danny is now heading slowly towards the Windward Isles with Category 1 force winds after suddenly picking up strength this morning. But the residents of Bermuda have something much closer to hand to be concerned about at this stage. A low-pressure area 100 miles to our south is showing signs of development from its current non-tropical status to something more cyclonic. Brian Darby asked Robert Howlett, meteorologist at the Bermuda Weather Service, to explain just what is going on.
So basically, there's a low that's developing to our southwest, right, and it's already been designated the National Hurricane Center. Once there's some disturbances they want to investigate further, they call them as invests, and it's just been given that. And what happens is they start to run more model data on those systems. Hopefully, we'll continue to get some more information from that'll help us pin down how much development this might create over the next few days, and where it'll be heading, and if it will actually gain some tropical characteristics, because there's a difference between just a run-of-the-mill low-pressure system and a more tropical storm-type system.
Yes, this is non-tropical at the moment.
At the moment, correct.
If it went tropical, what could we expect?
So that's where we're really hoping to get some more data on that. But what it's not going to have a lot of time to develop, and that's where we're kind of looking at, well, is it going to become a tropical depression or a subtropical storm type of scenario as it passes by near us on Saturday? And a lot of the precipitation, it looks like, is going to be more toward our east, and that's kind of things have been kind of progressing a bit more toward our east, whereas a couple of days ago we looked at maybe that being right over us throughout the weekend. But still, that will bring the center of the low more toward us. So, and the question is, how much convection can this get? How much heating over the coming couple days here, and will we see an increase in the wind field? And so that's kind of what we're looking at. But it shouldn't be something that's horribly terrifying, and it's just kind of a difficult forecast at this point, and something that we'll be definitely watching closely over the next couple of days.
They called them the millennials. They are active in social media, and they love taking trips, embracing culture and food. They are the new generation of visitors the Bermuda Tourism Authority is focusing in their crosshairs. This group, says Chief Product and Experience Development Officer Pat Phillip Fairn, is being actively targeted.
They have been targeting adventure seekers, and they have really been spanning a great scope of what Bermuda can offer. We've repurposed existing experiences like the marathon weekend and elevated them to be signature events. That particular event generated over 900 visitors over a key weekend in January for Bermuda. And we are building further attractions around it with the organizers to attract a new generation of visitors. A totally new event was the Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Bermuda's first carnival, which took over social media as well as generating visitors for Bermuda in June. The Red Bull Youth America's Cup, attached to the main event for the America's Cup, again is presenting Bermuda in a different and new way to a new generation of travelers. Sports tourism in general is a big area for us. We've established a partnership with the National Sports Center, and as we said before, a spring break for Bermuda is not the Cancun model. We can't deliver on that, and so we have developed experiences that are targeting sports teams to come here for spring training, and that is already delivering results. There's a lot of interest and already some bookings ahead of the January through March period of next year. So we anticipate seeing golf teams, swimming teams, lacrosse teams using the facilities that we have, and bookings are already in progress for that.
But is the emphasis on the millennials mean the exclusion of the older traveler who for generations have made Bermuda their chosen destination?
Not at all. So when we look at who comes here and when, we see that in the summer months, the demographics are younger, and in the winter months, they skew older. And that's why we have to refine what we're offering based on the seasons, and that's why we are now, and it's working quite well, we're telling people that the peak season for arts, culture, and sport in Bermuda is in the winter months. And so what we're seeing is that our traveler that comes November through March is really taking advantage of the arts and the culture and the history and the performing arts and the things that go on at that time of year that they can participate in. And even if they're a golfer, they can come and play golf. So no, we're not abandoning the older traveler.
When the Senate holds a special midsummer meeting on Monday to enable the St. George Hotel Bill to be amended and passed, Home Affairs Minister Senator Michael Fay will take the opportunity to amend regulations covering landholding charges. The aim will be to delay the planned increases in land purchase license fees from the scheduled September 2015 date for another 18 months. Senator Fay explains why this has been thought necessary.
What we did some time ago, back in 2013, is we lowered the amount of tax that non-Bermudians and permanent residents would have to pay for purchase of a property. So in other words, if they were purchasing a property, they would have to pay an additional tax on top of the value of the sale. And you recall that we lowered that down to 4% in some circumstances, and in other circumstances 6 and 8%, depending on the type of property that it was. We had undertaken at that time to put the taxes back up to a level between the old and the new by September 30th or on September 30th of this year. Since then, we have seen a good beginning of a turnaround in the real estate market. And that's obviously a very positive thing for the economy of Bermuda. One of the measures of a good economy is house sales and house turnover of sales. After much feedback from those practicing in the market, there is a concern that if that tax goes up again at this stage, it could damage the fragile recovery in that market. So what we've decided to do, and it passed in the House on Monday, is keep those levels at the level that we passed in 2013, and the levels will rise again on the 31st of March 2017. So we've essentially put it back a number of months, quite a number of months, 18 months, to allow sales to go through and allow that market interest to pick up.
Now, of course, it's a very sensitive thing, but you don't really have time and interest in just the real estate itself. You're thinking, and the Minister of Finance is thinking about income and revenue. Is this going to hold that back a bit?
I don't believe so. When you look at the numbers, one could say, okay, well, why not just raise the taxes and these sales will continue to go through? I don't believe that that's the case at all. I think what you'll see is any revenue that could potentially be lost between the level that is set at now and the level that it was anticipated to go up to will be offset by the increased number of sales, which will happen as a result of keeping this tax slightly lower than what we had anticipated putting it up to.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
After the activist group, the People's Campaign, accused Finance Minister Bob Richards and the OBA government of suppressing free speech by launching a defamation case against BPSU President Jason Hayward, the OBA hit back through Chairman Senator Lynn Woolridge. Chris Lodge has the story.
OBA Chair Lynn Woolridge said last night there's no effort to suppress freedom of speech, and for the leaders of the People's Campaign to say so is nothing more than an effort to mislead the public and position their spokesman Jason Hayward as a victim. Mr. Hayward, she said, repeatedly made unsolicited defamatory comments about Finance Minister Bob Richards during a broadcast on ZBM TV that was paid for by the People's Campaign. No one, she says, is impinging Mr. Hayward's right to free speech, but an action has been launched to hold him to account for the words he spoke. Free speech does not mean people are free to slander and defame others. There is a reason, she said, those words exist, and the courts are there to protect people from such abuse. There are, she said, a number of untruths in the People's Campaign statement that we believe the public should be aware of. The accusation that the government tried to force ZBM into prohibiting the People's Campaign from appearing on the television is a falsehood that the People's Campaign are trying to exaggerate into an all-out attack on freedom of the press. And in conclusion, she said, it's disappointing but not now surprising that the People's Campaign have used their statement today to fabricate and prevaricate. If they don't know they are doing it, then all the more reason, she said, for concern. Meantime, Finance Minister Bob Richards said last night the matter is before the courts and therefore sub judice. I have no comment at this time. I'm Chris Lodge, VSB News.
At 5 o'clock this afternoon, Minister of Municipalities, Senator Michael Fay, lifted the stewardship order under which the Corporation of Hamilton has been supervised since the previous council got into serious financial trouble. Senator Fay, welcoming the move, said that the bill that was passed just recently will make sure that such problems never arose again.
It's also important to remember that there were changes to the Municipalities Act. That act received royal assent from the governor on the 23rd of July. So given that that act is now in place, which obviously gives the governor of Bermuda certain authority if it's required in any event, the necessity now for a stewardship order is no longer there.
Things that happened in the past can't happen now.
I would never say never, but I think the act as it is now has significantly diminished the opportunities for some of the things that went wrong to go wrong.
Can the waterfront proceed in any way, or the hotel? Is it all bound up in court?
At the moment, that's all bound up in court, and it would be a mistake for me to comment.
They're on the agenda somewhere.
It's sitting there, and the waterfront issue is obviously still before the courts.
We got the impression from some of the things said by the mayor when he won his new seat back again that there was a serious financial problem waiting for the corporation. Have you been able to help them in any way?
Well, there is a serious financial situation in that the Corporation of Hamilton is obviously responsible for the guarantee that was given in respect of the Parleville development, and that is in excess of $18 million. So when you put that against their other liabilities, there's obviously financial difficulties with the Corporation of Hamilton. We are doing a number of things that we're working with the corporation to give them more authority in terms of parking. We'll be working through a number of ordinances through the next few months for tabling, hopefully in November, that should give them additional revenue-raising capabilities as the corporation to get back some revenue that perhaps has been lost over the number of years. So that's a positive step.
Is clamping coming back?
I believe that that's something that we are looking to have finalized by November. That clamping certainly, in my view, should be introduced again in the right way. At the moment, we see parkers in Hamilton trying to take advantage of a situation. Having said that, the traffic wardens are now again patrolling the various car parks. So you take a very big risk for parking without the proper parking vouchers and the like in the city of Hamilton, because they are back doing what they should be doing.
ESPN has acquired the exclusive multi-platform rights to the 35th America's Cup in more than 40 countries, including Mexico, Central America and South America, and non-exclusive rights in the Caribbean. Under the agreement, ESPN International will air live racing and highlights of all events in the 35th America's Cup, including the Louis Vuitton America's Cup World Series in 2015 and 2016, the America's Cup qualifiers and Challenger playoffs, the Red Bull Youth America's Cup, and the American Cup match presented by Louis Vuitton in Bermuda in May or June of 2017. ESPN will also air the Louis Vuitton America's Cup World Series in Gothenburg, Sweden from August 29th this year. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the Sports Desk.
5 young sailors will travel to Poland to represent Bermuda in the 2015 World Optimist Championships. Micah Thomas Rayner, Camille Chin-Garrett, Campbell Patton, Luke Medeiros, and Tate Stefanik will compete on the Baltic Sea. Stefanik said this is not the biggest regatta that he has competed in.
We're Salem and Newport, Rhode Island. We had 400 boats, and Poland's only 300. So still quite a big fleet.
Darius is looking forward to the event.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my biggest challenges, my first world championship.
You excited?
I'm very excited about it.
What are you anticipating? Thomas Rayner explained how he got started in sailing.
Summer program. They was doing all sorts of type of things, so like BUI and sailing, and can't remember the other one. But then I just took up sailing, which I started liking it, and it was fun.
Chin-Garrett feels good about making the team to Poland.
It's very empowering because there was no guarantee one female has to be on the team. I had to fight for my spot and be top 5. It's because everybody had to fight for this spot, and it's the top because they have to beat all these guys to get their spot.
Patton breaks down his chances of a top finish.
I would hope that if there was good wind, since I'm a bigger guy, that I would hope to get maybe in the top 50. That would be really good. I went to Worlds 2 years ago and I got 115th. And I was kind of happy about that. I was younger, wasn't so good. So now I'd hope to improve on that.
Individual event now completed, the 2015 Senior Caribbean Squash Championships moved into the team phase as the Bermuda Veterans team and the Bermuda Women's team both saw action. The Bermuda Veterans team played 2 matches yesterday. They fell 4-1 to Barbados and then went down 3-2 to Trinidad and Tobago. The women's team went down 3-2 to Cayman Islands. The conditions changed slightly as the 2015 Laser Radial Youth World Regatta entered its 5th day. CC Woman is currently in 28th place in the girls division with 189 points. Woman recorded finishes of 32nd, and a did not finish. Only Mikey Woman made it to the gold fleet as the male fleets were split. Woman finished 41st in the first race and second race of the day before closing out with a 30th place finish. He is in 39th with 132 net points. Peter Dill is in the silver fleet and is currently in 14th with 137 net points. Dill crossed the line 25th in the first race, 45th in the second race, and 7th in the third race. Ben Smith is in the silver fleet and is currently 47th with 232 net points. 29 boats went to the start line for race day 16 of the Wednesday night sailing series that begins and ends in the Hamilton Harbor. Crossfire crossed the line first in a time of 101.06, and with the corrected time of 107.01, saw them finish 7th on the night. Nasty Madison was the second boat to cross the line, clocking 101.21, with their corrected time of 106.57, saw them finish 6th on the night. The third boat to cross the line on the night was Mayhem, clocking 107.55, and with their corrected time of 103.40, saw them finish 2nd on the night. Honey Badger was the first boat on a corrected time of 103.04 after recording a time of 108.13. Passion was third on the night with a corrected time of 104.19. Smokin' was 4th on the night with a corrected time of 104.21, and Man o' War rounded out the top 5 finishes with a corrected time of 105.25. Jillian Teixeira continued competing in the CSI 2 Grand Prix in Belgium. Competing in the Table A 1.35 meter two-phase class, Teixeira and Namarula finished 23rd. They clocked a time of 28.61, and they had 4 penalty foul points. Riding the Duke of Somerset, Teixeira competed in the 1.20 meter two-phase class, they finished 38th, clocking 47.67, and had 4 penalty fault points. Teixeira and Tamarino finished 8th in the Table A 1.45 with 1 round and a jump-off class. They had a clear round time of 78.49. The Mid-Ocean Golf Club will play host to the inaugural Nike Golf PGA Team Championships of Canada. The newly created and unique championship sees 2 PGA of Canada professionals pairing up with a partner of his or her choice on October 26th through to the 29th. Play in the Highland Springs Junior Tennis Tournament resumed at the Pomanda Gates Tennis Club, with many of the island's top junior players in attendance. In the under-10 boys singles, Matthew Way defeated Sebastian Smith 11-9, 9-11, 11-4. In the under-10 boys singles consolations, S.N. Binns defeated Andrea Granston 11-5, 11-love. The under-12 singles boys saw Daniel Phillips defeat Max Robb 6-love, 6-love. Cairo Morton got by Henry Boyle 6-3, 3-6, 11-9. Scott Redmond defeated Nick Cooper in under-14 boys singles action 6-love, 6-1. Ben Jones got by Amir Thomas 6-1, 6-2. And David Gibbons got by Cairo Morton 6-3, 3-6, 10-7. In the under-16 boys singles, Luke Bell defeated Andrew Blee 6-1, 6-1. Scott Redmond got by John Eels 6-1, 6-1. And in boys under-18 singles action, Luke Sterling defeated Trey Mallory 7-5, 7-5. Imani Phillips won her girls' open round-robin match against Kayla Harvey 6-2, 6-1. A total of 74 runs crossed the plate in the latest round of the Bermuda Commercial Summer League softball season currently going on at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond. Atlantic Security edged KPMG 15-14. Roy, O'Kelly, Lynch went 2 for 4 from the plate with 1 double, 1 home run, and 3 RBIs for Atlantic Security, while Jeff Marash went 3 for 4 from the plate with 1 double, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs for KPMG. In other action, Vasco defeated the Parakeet Flyers 11-9, and Vitamin C got by the Ace Kings 18-7. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Friday, August 21st, it will be mostly cloudy, with a few showers and risk of thunderstorms. Winds will be east-southeasterly and light, increasing light to moderate by evening, with strong gusts around shower activity, varying southeasterly overnight. We are expecting a high near 84 Fahrenheit and a low near 76 Fahrenheit. This weather report is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Thursday, August 20th. I'm Peter Cattell.